Welcome to the Unique Mind Podcast. I'm Dr. Uni, a licensed psychotherapist, founder of Unique Counseling, and a passionate advocate for mental and emotional wellness. This is your space to explore the transformative power of therapy, with a special focus on demystifying hypnotherapy and healing. Each episode will dive into topics that challenge limiting beliefs, unlock the mind's full potential, and empower you on your journey to self-discovery. So take a nice deep breath, open your mind, and let's get started. A little bit about why I love hypnotherapy and a little bit about what got me into it. I've been a therapist for over 20 years, found did traditional talk therapy for years, and then just found it didn't work to really make positive changes for people, especially with trauma and pain. And then I began my own kind of hypnotherapy work and journey and healing. So I had a lot of like autoimmune diseases. I had thyroid issues, pain in the body, weight issues, vertigo, you name it. I had it. I found hypnotherapy, and then that was really what helped me the most. Okay. All right. And then started seeking other alternatives, but really hypnotherapy was the thing that really I found was helpful to me. I really love this quote. Wabi Sabi really is about the inner and outer world of healing. So the experience of our inner world, Wabu, and Sabu is the experience of our outer world. So it's really combining kind of working within ourselves by finding balance and integrating that for wellness and wholeness, and then applying what we, energetically feel and have with the outer world. And I find it's kind of a beautiful, beautiful process. And it's more, I think, holistic and more gentle, I think, than traditional talk therapy. So today, my intention is to just welcome you, inform you, empower you with using hypnotherapy and support any answers or questions that you might have. All right, so basically, I'm just going to give you a little fast overview of what hypnotherapy is. And the type of therapy I do, hypnotherapy, is called alchemy. So it's from the Alchemy Institute in California, and it's about a 2-year certification. Alchemy means the process of transforming the lead of emotional debris in our psyche into the gold of self-realization, self-actualization, or your highest full potential. So it's a very interactive process of transformation. It gets to the root cause of most of our emotional, physical, mental issues, and it's more of a holistic approach. So it combines a lot of techniques like Gestalt, subpersonality. You might have heard of IFS, internal family systems. It's similar to that. And then Carl Jung's archetypes, inner child kind of work. Some people call that shadow work. And then energy, emotional releasing work. But it also helps to guide you to access your own positive inner resources. And we all have inner resources. Some of us don't know necessarily how to access them, but we all have them. I call it like your inner wisdom. So there's a difference between hypnotherapy and guided meditation. Basically, meditation is very present focus on the moment. It's also to help bring awareness to the present moment and to help relieve stress. So hypnotherapy basically is a lot like meditation, but I find it's more specific. It's like to help you kind of induce into a relaxed state, and then helps you kind of focus on and treats those particular issues. So to get to that root cause of the problem and to provide some relief and encourage positive steps forward as well. All right, so it's very targeted to their specific issues. So this can be kind of a little controversial, but most hypnotherapy is self-hypnosis. Okay. So my role as a hypnotherapist is just to help guide you to that induced relaxed state. The brain already goes to those states of consciousness, from sleep to waking. But it really just helps to bypass the conscious mind and get to the subconscious. So your subconscious really is the part of you that stores all of our core beliefs, our thoughts, our emotions, and the memories. And so the conscious mind is the part of us that tries to protect us by, keeping us the same, right? But you're always in control of the process.
people can't not really be hypnotized against your will. Sometimes it feels like that. You can be very suggestible, but really the will is strong. So you most likely not going to be.
Uni,
So here, yes.
how do you know if you're in sufficiently hypnotic state? Because
Mhm.
um, sometimes I don't feel very altered or very deep.
Yeah, that's a good question. So remember, most of us are suggestible. And it's really more of a relaxed state. So you can go from a very light, relaxed state, like um, when you first wake up is probably the best. And we're in what we call like theta brain waves. So our brain goes all into these different brain waves, so the technical way terms. But so it's come from light trance, medium trance to deep trance. And deep trance would be like you're sleeping, right? You're still in what we call that delta waves, right? Right, REM sleep. So you can kind of remember sometimes your dream, sometimes not, but that would be a more of a deep trance. So a light trance would be like you're driving, right? You're driving on autopilot, and then you wake up, you kind of are got home or to work, and you realize, oh, how did I get here? That's really a light trance because our body goes into a very relaxed state, but our mind is still maybe focused on and has that muscle memory of driving. So it's everyone can be very different in what state of maybe alertness or sleepiness. So the fact is that it really helps you to focus inward on yourself. That's probably the most probably important part, is that you're going into your inner world. And so sometimes it seems like you're might be, kind of surreal, like, oh, I'm having these like really big imaginative kind of moments of exploring inside. But then sometimes it feels like you're just kind of like awake as you're going through and observing all these different things. So it can be very different. So I'm not sure if there's really a way to say, yeah, I'm totally in a hypnotic state, but because it depends on what level of altered state you're in. Does that answer your question?
Sort of, because I guess the point of the question was, um, do you have to be at a sufficient level in order to do the work? I mean, um, do you have to be at a certain level in order to do the work? That
No, I think all of it is important. And sometimes you can really get a lot just by being in a light trance. The main important part is that you're relaxed and then you're just observing what's happening internally for yourself. And then you might get these insights, right? Sometimes that process takes a little bit to understand, well, what is the information that I'm receiving, right? So there's no right or wrong way to be in a hypnotic state. Sometimes you will know, like you're just getting all this, like I call it information or downloads about yourself. So sometimes it takes a little while for us to understand what is the message I'm receiving. What do I need to, understand about what's happening here. So that's the
okay.
process of integration. Okay. So just to review the myths in reality, hypnosis is not a magical state where you lose control. It's really a state of focused attention and heightened suggestibility. You remain in control. So when you're more relaxed, of course, you're more suggestible, right? And this is why, you're still also aware of your own will. It's like you're aware that I'm kind of probably talking to you in the background, but it's not like you're totally unaware that you have your own, will and your own sense of yourself. Another myth can make you do things against your will. Not true. Okay. There's a difference in stage hypnosis. There are some people who are more suggestible than others. So if you've ever been to one of those stage hypnosis shows and you see people doing all these like crazy things that the hypnotist tells them to do, it's just that he's picking the one, or they're picking the ones that are more suggestible, that are going into maybe a deeper state of suggestibility. Okay, but you definitely cannot be forced to do anything. And if you notice, the hypnotist will also ask the people who are not suggestible to leave. Okay, so they're keeping the ones that are a little bit more open to suggestion, and that's the difference. Another myth, hypnosis is for only for stage. No, it's very legitimate. There's a lot of research showing the therapeutic effects of various issues like anxiety, pain, addiction. Um, it's not a quick fix. It oftentimes requires multiple sessions for lasting results. It's almost like you're also practicing the things, the skills that you need to know. And that awareness and that integration process takes time. And just with anything, if you're working out, if you're learning a new, skill, it's similar to that. Hypnosis is not scientifically proven. That's a myth. There is a numerous studies that support the efficacy of hypnotherapy on those various conditions, as I said. And here's some sources if you want to know more. So I love this diagram because it really shows you the subconscious and conscious mind. So if you notice everything above this line, think about it as a iceberg, I guess. So this is us, external world, the conscious mind, things that we're aware of cognitively, and then external stimulation is coming in. But underneath is our subconscious, is all of the feed from the subconscious, the past memories, all your experiences, they're stored somewhere in that subconscious. And it's also the recording of all your past, sensations, experiences, memories from birth. And sometimes even back utero, people can remember all the way back if we get into that really relaxed state. Some of my clients actually um, can remember in utero. And I love this quote by Sherry Hoover. She's an author uh, that I think works with a lot of healing. There's nothing wrong with you, but there may be a great deal wrong with what you've learned to believe about yourself. So all those beliefs and thoughts, positive and negative, are stored as well in there. So this is just a model of ourself, the parts of the self. So if you notice, this outer world is this conscious self, our ego, what we present, our persona, our personality to the world. So that's maybe like think about yourself as this is what we show maybe other people or other people see within ourselves. But ourself, at the core, sometimes there's like these shadow parts or the parts that are very private, very unconscious and subconscious that are hidden away that we maybe not know. So a lot of times, people will talk about shadow work, about, well, how do I access my shadow? And what is the shadow? And a shadow, in my opinion, is not necessarily something negative. It's a part of us, perhaps, that we're not aware of. There's a very unconscious or subconscious level and there might be trying to protect us in some way. So it's really hard to get to those shadow parts, but that just by talking, and that's why hypnotherapy is so powerful because it helps you access those subconscious and conscious parts of us. And there is oftentimes like this inner turmoil or conflict within us that we really are kind of almost fighting ourselves sometimes, like of these different parts of us. But hypnotherapy helps to get to the root causes of issues. There's always a reason or a root cause behind every behavior, no matter how bizarre or odd it may seem, maybe not logical, right? So we're only born with two natural fears. Those fears are fear of loud noises and fear of falling, which I think is kind of like fear of death, I guess. But yeah, those are the two innate natural fears that we're all born with. And there's such a thing as called misophonia, where people are very sensitive to certain sounds, like chalkboard sounds and things like that. And that is really about, it creates also like kind of a hypersensitivity for us, right? Loud noises oftentimes feel threatening. So it helps to protect us in that way. But even if you give a specific enough suggestion to the subconscious mind, it'll always take you to the most relevant memory. So whatever comes up, sometimes it doesn't seem like it makes sense, but it goes to the most relevant, I guess, more energetic part that needs to maybe be processed, the root of that. Mhm.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Based on my experience, that regressive meditation experience I had, I feel like I had a fear that isn't in either of those two categories. It was a fear of lack of love, fear of lack of mother. Does it fit into one of those categories? Does it fit into fear of falling?
Well,
Love.
sometimes it's a learned behavior. Sometimes those are not necessarily what we call innate natural fears. What those are something perhaps we are we learn through experience, right? So it's not what I call an innate or born with fear. Does that make sense? So if we do, experience some type of, neglect, that does create a fear or mistrust of, life or whoever is not there for us. So that is what I would call more learned behavior. Yeah, there's a combination of both nature and nurture. I think sometimes that works. So, and sometimes those are hard to differentiate. So, like I said, these are some benefits of hypnotherapy, self-awareness, inner child work, shadow work. Really helps us also to kind of replace that sense of helplessness and powerlessness we felt as a child. And there's different ways and techniques to do that. Works with addictions, improving wellness, helping, create new muscle memory. Also helps with depression, anxiety, right? So if you think about pain and trauma is very like stored emotions or energy, that's what is kind of stuck there, right? So it's the process of like letting go or releasing that energy. And that is hard as if it was easy, everybody would do it, right? But if we just think of it as energetically, something has been stuck or keeping us stuck, right? May not be us, but it may be the programming, it may be something like anger that's been, stuck there and it preventing us from moving forward. Other applications of hypnotherapy, we call it EPC or ethereal plane communication. So one of the examples would be like somebody that you love, cared about, just left, but you didn't get a chance to have closure, right? So it's still unresolved. So a lot of times we can do this internal processing to help release that energetic charge that we're stuck in. So oftentimes we do get a little bit of stuck energy. Sometimes it could be feeling like, this person, abandoned me, betrayed me. So that's still an energy that's we're stuck in. Other applications, learning to find your inner guides. That could be connecting with your higher self, your guides, your other mentors, ancestors, past life regression, soul contract work. Some people call it Akashic record reading. How to help you read those. And everyone does that work a little bit different. I think a lot of healers, and I don't say one way is better than another. I just feel like, whatever comes up for you is what it is. Okay. So sometimes, it feels like, oh, I did it wrong or something. But no, it's really all information you can really, I think use for your own discernment. Right. There's what we call subpersonality or conference room, just help you kind of resolve some inner conflict or help you make a decision about something or understand something. So there's different parts of us that might be conflicted. And then so we really help you to really talk to these parts of us that are struggling and get some kind of agreement or alignment. There's helping you create a new future life for yourself, whatever that you imagine or envision. And then also practicing, mentally rehearsing during the session, create that new muscle memory about how to do something that you really want to do or change. Okay, that was the quick, fast info on hypnotherapy. I'm going to take you through what we call a hypno journey to meet your future self. It's usually a very beautiful process to help introduce you to what hypnotherapy is, to go through a hypno journey, and then also to meet maybe this aspect of yourself. All right, so let's begin. Just find yourself a comfortable, quiet place. You might even want to lower your lighting because when you open your eyes, sometimes it's very bright. Okay. So just give yourself time to kind of explore the images, thoughts, sensations that arise for you. And remember, there's no right or wrong. And just simply notice whatever comes up for you, right? And try not to judge it. So just allowing your eyes to close, begin to focus your awareness and attention on your breath. So take a nice deep breath in and slow exhale out and just let go. Just breathing easily and effortlessly. Slowly in, let your belly rise. And then slowly release and let your belly fall. And each breath allows you to become more and more relaxed and comfortable. And just allow any outside noises to help you go deeper into your inner world. Just a reminder of how good it feels to just leave the noise and stress of the outside world and journey into the quiet and peace of your inner world. And just allow yourself to go deeper into a state of ease, peace, and relaxation. Perhaps you can even feel the earth beneath your feet, just connected to Mother Earth. And feel yourself sinking down deeper and deeper into relaxation. Perhaps you can even remember a time when you stood before a pond or a lake and it was quiet and peaceful. You may even have tossed a pebble into the center and noticed the ripples spreading out. One ripple after another, just going outward farther and farther. The ripples slowing down become further and further apart until the water was once again calm and peaceful. And just feeling these ripples relax as your muscles relax and become soft and loose. And just breathing into your body, these warm waves of relaxation, starting at your feet all the way up through your spine, spreading these ripples of water or this air moving, flowing through your body. And just feel your shoulders sinking down, relaxing even more. And just continue to breathe this beautiful, relaxing energy and feeling that flow of relaxation moving all the way up and opening up all of our energy center. And now bringing your attention to this spot right between your eyes, your eyebrows, the third eye. And just imagining perhaps a light there. And just notice the color of the light. Could be any color. Now imagining that light becoming a beam that extends out into space. Follow that beam as it travels out above you so that you can view the entire area around you. Just keep going farther and farther into outer space and notice the curvature of the earth. As you keep going farther and further out, you find yourself enveloped by the softness and quietness of space. Noticing that big blue-green ball below you with the white clouds wisping around it. And just allow yourself to enjoy this perspective for a moment. And now notice another beam of light very near to you, a different color perhaps from the one you followed out into outer space. And just begin to follow that beam back to the earth. And this beam is like a magic time machine that is taking you back down to earth. And imagine now it's maybe 1 to 3 years from now into your future, whatever time frame or timeline you'd like to perhaps see in the future for yourself. And just keep following this beam down and noticing the curvature of the earth and the landscape stretched out below you. And as you come closer to the end of the beam, keep noticing where you are. And this is where your future self lives. Maybe 6 months, a year, 5 years from today. And notice where you are. Notice and take in everything about this place. What does it look like? Notice what dwelling or landscape surrounds you. What kind of landscape does it have? Are there trees, flowers perhaps? Maybe what kind. And just get a sense of this place. And right up ahead, now you notice someone coming toward you. As you draw near, you realize it is your future self waiting to greet you. How many years into the future from now? And greet your future self and notice the way your future self returns your greeting, welcoming you into this time and place. And take in this person, your future self. What does your future self look like? Notice how they stand and hold themselves. And what is your future self wearing? Get a sense of their essence and energy. And notice the inside of their dwelling, their place, where the colors, kind of person lives here. And now move with your future self to find a very comfortable place to sit for a conversation. Perhaps your future self offers you something to drink, maybe your favorite drink. And settle in and make yourself comfortable to talk with your future self. And there may be questions that you might want to ask your future self. Perhaps begin by asking them, what do I need to know about myself, my situation, or my relationships? What do I need to know now to get where your future self is? And anything you need to let go of? Perhaps what is a piece of advice that you may need to hear right now? And using all of your senses, just listen, see, a knowing or a feeling. Anything else, perhaps, that your future self wants you to know. And take all that in. Now take a moment and ask your future self your own questions. Maybe what other questions would you like to ask them? Maybe what guidance, advice, help, or assistance would you like to ask for? And maybe what would be most helpful to know now? And take a moment to gather all that information and guidance. And now ask your future self one final question before we leave. What name, other than maybe their first name, are they called by? Maybe a special name, maybe a metaphor or symbol of their essence and energy. And they may give you a name, maybe not. So maybe it's okay if they don't. So take note of that. And now your future self may give you a gift, some symbol or token to remind you of this connection, their essence, feeling, or energy. And accept that gift from them now. And what does this gift mean? What is it to perhaps remind you of? And ask them they want you to store this gift on your body so that you can connect with them and be reminded of its meaning. And allow yourself to breathe in and feel this energy and essence of this gift and reminder. You might even have a nice, beautiful center smell of this gift. Just allow it to really resonate through your whole body, through every cell, and all the way out through your energy field. And notice how that feels. Just enjoy that for a moment. So now you can remember every time that you need guidance or clarity, you can touch that part of your body, and it reminds you of this connection, this energy, this message. Remember, this gift is for you acting only for the highest and greatest good and with compassion in your heart moving forward. And take a last look around this place again. Know that this place has a very significant meaning to your future self. Look around and notice if there's anything new that catches your attention, anything different. What do you see or sense about your future life and relationships? Now take that in and note any changes. Maybe breathe in this new energy, light, and essence and notice those changes. And know that whatever wisdom or message you received today came from within you, with a part of you that is connected to all there is in the universe. And know that you can return and connect to this part of you very easily and effortlessly. It's always there for you whenever you return to this stillness and this place of connection to receive it. Now, some of you may feel that this journey is complete. Others may need more time, and that is good. So take a few more minutes if you need to. And when you're ready to bring this visit to a close, take a moment to express your gratitude by thanking your future self for showing up to be with you today and sharing so much wisdom. Knowing that this is a part of you, not separate, that you can connect to anytime you need to or want to. And also thank your body and your mind for allowing this journey and connection, taking the time to show love and compassion to yourself. And now, finding your way back to that beam of light and journeying back up that beam, watching this world in the future grow even smaller and smaller as you move out into space. And again, you see this ball of blue and green below you, the clouds swirling around it. And notice that your beam of light has intersected with a different beam of light that will bring you back to this year and your current location. And follow this beam of light back to the present time. As you travel down this beam, notice the earth getting bigger and bigger. Moving farther down the beam, notice the geography, the skyline, the landscape, and finally coming back into your room here. And so in a few moments, I'm going to count you back from 1 to 5. The count of 5, you'll return feeling refreshed, alert, energized, having the perfect amount of rest, knowing you can remember everything you wish to from this inner journey and is a part of you that lives within you. And when you open your eyes, please remain silent and just jot down anything that you might want to remember about your journey, any gifts or messages you received. And 1, coming on back to the present now, becoming more alert and refreshed. 2, taking a deep, invigorating breath, coming back into your body, feeling your body. 3, stretching and moving, feeling the ground beneath you. 4, continue to stretch and move your body, getting ready to open your eyes. And 5, open your eyes, feeling refreshed, alert, energized, fully awake, aware, and present. And taking a moment now to reorient yourself and jot down any things that you want to remember about your journey.
Much love and gratitude for tuning in to the Unique Mind podcast. I hope today's episode gave you new insights and tools to support your healing and wellness journey. If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who might benefit. You can also reach me via my website at uniquecounseling.com, and that's unique with a Y. Until next time, stay curious, stay mindful, and keep exploring your unique mind. This podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. While I am a doctor, PhD, this podcast does not create a doctor-patient relationship, and the information shared should not be considered medical or psychological advice. Always consult a licensed healthcare provider before making any decisions regarding your health.